Hello everyone, I'm Mrs. Meenakshi Shrigandhi, Assistant Professor from Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. Welcome to the video lecture on stack reversal using another stack. Learning outcome. At the end of this session, students will be able to implement stack reversal using another stack using C programming. Before we see the reversal of stack using another stack, let us see the basics and the definition of stack. We already know that stack is a linear data structure and the insertion and deletion of the stack happens at the pointer top. The stack follows the last in first out principle and the insertion of the element to the stack is called as the push operation and the deletion of the element from the stack is called as the pop operation. Here we can see that the elements in the stack are in linear way and the top is pointing to the topmost element in the stack. Let us see the push operation. The push operation is nothing but the insertion of an element to the stack is called as push operation. For that we need to first initialize the top. The top is initialized to -1 in this case. Check for stack overflow. Stack overflow condition is when top is pointing to the max -1 condition, that indicates that the stack has been overflown. Then increment the top by 1, then add the element to the stack. Now, if the stack is overflown, we cannot add the element. So, if it is not overflown, then we have to go for the other two steps. That is, first increment the top by 1 place, then add the element to the stack. If the stack is overflown, then we have to return back to the main module. Try to think and answer. What is the algorithm for pop operation? Pause the video for some time and note down the answer in your book. Let us see the algorithm for pop operation. Pop operation is nothing but deletion of an element from the stack. For that, first we have to check for stack underflown. The stack underflown condition is checked by using the top position. If top is equal to -1, it indicates that the top is the stack is underflown. If it is not underflown, then we have to go for the other two steps. That is, remove the element from the stack where the top is pointing and then decrement the top position by 1 please. Let us see the stack reversal using another stack. The first step is to pop the elements from the original stack and push into the temporary stack. Now in this diagram we can see that there are two stacks actually, that is the original stack and the temporary stack. The original stack contains all the elements, that is A, B, C, D, and the topmost element is pointed by top. Now here what we will be doing is, we will be first popping the element from the original stack. That element will be pushed to the temporary stack. So let us see the process. In this you can see step by step process in this. The first element has been popped from the original stack and it has been pushed to the temporary stack. Then after that, the top is decremented in the original stack, whereas the top will be incremented because we are pushing to the temporary stack. That's why the temporary top will be incremented by 1. So the element from the original stack, that is C, has been popped and it has been pushed to the temporary stack. Again, the next element is B from the original stack, which has been popped and it has been pushed to the temporary stack. And finally, the last element, that is element A from the original stack, has been popped and it has been pushed to the temporary stack. So first we are removing the elements from the original stack and those elements are pushed into the temporary stack. In step 2, we are copying the elements back to the original stack. In this case, the element to element copying is done. So the element at temporary stack at the 0th index will be copied to the 0th index of original stack. The element at the first index of the temporary stack will be copied to the first index of the original stack. So element to element copying of the elements happens here. So this is the procedure for stack reversal using another stack. Let us see now the implementation of stack reversal using another stack by using C programming. For that, first the header files have been declared. Then the max indicates the maximum size of the array. Here we will be declaring two arrays. The first will be the stack and the temporary stack. The stack indicates the original stack which contains the original elements, and the temporary stack indicates the temporary stack array. There are 2 pointers again, the top and temporary top, which have been initialized to -1. That is, we are clearing the original and the temporary stack. The top is actually the pointer to the original stack, whereas the temporary top is the pointer to the temporary stack array. Now this is the main module. In the main module, at the first 3 steps, we are trying to add the element, that is, we are trying to push 3 elements to this or to the original stack. For that, the push function is accepting 3 parameters, that is the stack, that is the array, then the top position and the element to be added. After this is done, then the display function has been called to check how many elements are pushed to the stack. Then the reverse stack function has been called. The elements of the original stack are reversed. Then after that, the display function is called again, where it will display the elements of the stack in reverse order. Let us see the functions in detail. This is a push function which is accepting 3 parameters, that is the array stack, which is nothing but the original stack in this case, then the top pointer, then the value which has to be pushed. Now in this, first the top position has been checked. If it is pointing to max -1, it indicates that the stack is overflow. If this is not the case, then the value is added to the stack where top is pointing. But before that, the top is incremented by 1 place and then the value is added to the array, that is the stack. Then this is the pop function. Here in the pop function, it is accepting 2 parameters, that is the array stack and the top again. Here the top is first checked if it is pointing to -1. If it is pointing to -1, it indicates that the stack has been overflow. So if this is not the case, then wherever the top is pointing, that element is returned, and then after that the top is decremented by 1. Now this is the function for the reverse stack. Let us see now step by step in this. The first while loop is where the original stack elements are popped and those are pushed back to the temporary stack. So you can see the push function has been called, but here we are pushing the elements to the temporary stack. Now here the pop function has been also called here. So the pop of the elements from the original stack will be done, and that popped element will be passed to the push function, where we are passing the temporary stack element as the parameter. So the element which has been popped from the original stack will be pushed to the temporary stack. So this while loop is executed till all the elements from the original stack are popped and those are pushed back to the temporary stack. Once this is done, then the for loop is executed where element to element from the temporary stack is copied to the original stack. Then finally, this is the display function. In the display function, first we are checking whether top is equal to -1. If it is equal to -1, it indicates that the stack is empty. Otherwise, we are using a loop where it is printing all the elements of the stack. These are the references. Thank you.